Hi, I'm Kathryn Yarborough, and this is the Waking Up with Kathryn show. And today I'm going to talk about presence. And a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I made a decision to do a practice of being aware of every breath all day long. And it was an interesting decision to do that. Actually, it was an interesting practice. What arose for me during that week was I began to experience thinking differently. Because when we're present, when we're aware now, when we're sensing, presence has to do with sensing what's happening right now. Sensing through our body, sensing through our physical sensations, sensing through the field, what's happening right now. It's very much about the present moment. And my experience with thinking shifted, and it went, I experienced thoughts just arising in this part of my body, like just a thought, versus, you know how, I don't know about you, but when I'm thinking in the habitual way of thinking, my thoughts are going, I'm seeing something, I'm remembering something, I'm imagining something, and it sort of has this little storyline to it, and and sometimes it's like there's this thought, and then it pops to this thought, and then it pops to that thought, and then there's this thought, and then there's that thought, and it's this huge jumble of thoughts, and what I was experiencing during this week for the first time that I remember was, mostly emptiness with a sort of experience happening, coming up in my brain. So it was very different. And so people talk about with meditation that we want to empty out our mind. And what the invitation is, from where I sit and my perspective, is as we practice presence, as we practice noticing our breath or noticing the sensations in the moment, it really does take us out of that habitual way of thinking. And so we can then begin to experience the mind, the brain, functioning in a completely different way. It's very interesting. So I invite you to practice. And I'm Kathryn Yarborough, and this is Waking Up with Kathryn.